주력 책도 몇 권을 좀 읽어야 할 것 같습니다. 이제 리듬을 타야 되기 때문에 안 읽으면은 이 리듬이 끊긴다. 항상 리듬을 타야 된다. 계속 반복해야 된다. Better than before, mastering the habits of our everyday lives. It's simple to change habits, but it's not easy. I hope that reading Better Than Before will encourage you to harness the power of habits to make change in your own life. Whenever you read this and wherever you are in the right place to begin. The Book of Why, The New Science of Cause and Effect. Preface. For this I will forever be grateful to you. I hope you are as excited as I am to see the results. The need to shape ideas in your language, to guess your background, your questions, and your reaction did more to sharpen my understanding of causality than all the equation I have written prior to writing this book. Brilliant presentation. Part 1, Changes in Expectation. What had changed? What had changed is the dominant style of presentation, from lecturing to something more conversational. From American Laos the Troops, if you like, to European informal, the presenter today more closely resembles a stand-up entertainer than an under-rehearsed business executive. Laos the Troops. Now discover your strengths, how to develop your talents and those of the people you manage. The revolution. What are the two assumptions on which great organizations must be built? Most organizations are built on two flawed assumptions about people. Each person can learn to become competent in almost anything. Each person's greatest room for growth is in his or her areas of greatest weakness. Presented so badly, these two assumptions seem too simplistic to be commonly held, so let's play them out and see where they lead. If you want to test whether or not your organization is based on these assumptions, look for these characteristics. Your organization spends more money on training people once they are hired than on selecting them properly in the first place. The complete microbiotic diet, 7 steps to feel fabulous, look vibrant, and think clearly. Preface. The benefits of a macrobiotic diet are becoming increasingly recognized. Now discover your strengths. Introduction: The Strengths Revolution at Work. Suspend whatever interest that you may have in weakness and instead explore the intricate detail of your strengths. Introduction. One area of health that I commonly address when treating my patients is their diet. Why? Because research has shown us over and over again that too many Americans are eating their way to an early grave. The key is to know what foods to eat heartily, what food to eat in moderation, and what foods to avoid. Earn more, stress less. How to attract wealth using the secret science of getting rich. Have a look at Figure 1. The left-hand column contains example of what someone might regard as settling for just enough. The right-hand side is a corresponding asking big version. You get the idea. In some ways, I find it weird that I should have to write a chapter like this at all. Men are like the Whoppers. Women are like the spaghetti, understanding and delighting in the difference. What's the difference? We need to see eye to the eye. There are two types of people in this world. Those you categorize people into one of two groups, and those who do not. At the very beginning of history, God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 27. It was in God's plan to make us different from each other from the moment he imagined us. The original plan was to use these differences as a starting point for building intimate, fulfilling relationships. Fortunately, what started out as an advantage has turned out to be an universal source of frustration. Because we are all experientially familiar with the turmoil of relationship, we easily laugh at stories such as this. Man's son rushed in the door. "Dad, Dad," he announced, "I got a part in the school play." "That's terrific," Mel said proudly. "What part is it?" "I played the part of the dad." Mel thought this over. "Go back tomorrow," he instructed, "and tell them you want a speaking role." Unlimited power. It was a sight to see and uplifting experience for everyone. Tony used a firework as a metaphor. He's not teaching a mystical skill, but rather a practical set of tools on how to be able to get yourself to take effective action in spite of any fear you might have, and the ability to get yourself to do whatever it takes to succeed is a very real power. So the first reason I am delighted to write this forward is that I have tremendous respect and admiration for Tony Robbins. Leadership, the challenge of excellence, value hierarchies, the ultimate judgment of success, the five keys to wealth and happiness, trend creation, the power of persuasion, living excellence, the human challenge. Protected yourself at college, life in the dorms, Greek life and hazing, alcohol and drugs, dating, spring break, cybercrime. Forward. Many college students across the country do become victims either by their own doing or at the hands of others. Some of the unfortunate instances have resulted in serious injury or even death. Needless to say, families have been shattered. Unfortunately, in my 27 years of law enforcement, I have seen most of everything. The Ultimate Happiness Prescription, 7 Keys to Joy and Enlightenment. So, what is the cause? The Ultimate Happiness Prescription shares spiritual principles for a life based on a sense of your true self, lying beyond the ebb and flow of daily living. Simple daily exercise lead to eliminating the root cause of unhappiness and letting a deeper level of bliss unfold. Five main causes were linked to suffering and the unhappiness it caused. Not knowing your true identity, clinging to the idea of permanence in a world that is inherently impermanent, fear of change, identifying with the socially induced hallucination called the ego, fear of death. Life had changed tremendously over the centuries, but these sources of suffering have not, so until we solve them, even the most powerful drugs, the most loving upbringing, and the most selfless efforts to make others happy won't really work. The happiness formula doesn't address the real ills of human existence, which we all experience. To be alive is to fear change, cling to the ego and its false promise, and fear the arrival of death. We ponder in confusion the most simple basic question: who am I? Body mind. There seems to be some correspondence between the hardness or softness of a person's eyes and its interpersonal relationship. 100 ways to motivate yourself. Change your life forever. Point out how stupid it is, and once you get into that way of debating your own doubts, you start to take back control of your life. Heal your body. Heal your body. I am my own authority. I love and approve of myself. Life is good. Life is good. The light of love is always in us. In an ideal world, we would all learn in childhood to love ourselves. We would grow, being secure in our worth and value, spreading love whenever we went, letting our light shine. Managing your mouth. Despite all this, it has managed to survive and indeed may be growing in influence and the power. The brain that changes itself. When Mr. L started analysis, he experienced his mother as a ghost he could not see, a presence both alive and dead, someone he was faithful to yet was never sure existed. Rejection proof. How I beat the fear and became invincible through 100 days of rejection. Character building. By seeking rejection in tough environments, one can build up the mental toughness to take on greater goals. Intelligence, the creative response to the now. The king said, "It is okay. I will renounce it all." And he became a senior sin. He said, "Now finish it. I have tasted everything once. What is the point of tasting it twice? I'm not so stupid. Once is okay. Now I know the taste of it. But what is the point of repeating the taste of it?" I loved the story. It is tremendously beautiful. The brain, the story of you. When you start looking for them, you'll see that the Ulysses contracts are all around you. Take college students who swap Facebook password during the week of their final exam. Each student changes the password of the other so that neither can log on until finals are over. The Idea Hunter. How to find the best ideas and make them happen. So when he said that, I think this immediately broke the ice and allowed everyone to relax, be themselves, and focus on coming up with great stories to tell. An optimist laughs to forget, a pessimist forget to laugh. How to make anyone fall in love with you. The poor inferior in the relationship is doomed to living a life of insecurity about their love or having to swallow it. Whenever the partner decides to take advantage of a relationship, the happiness at having bagged such a great mate soon turn into the day-to-day reality of always being number two. It's no fun being number two and spending your life trying harder. Different. Escaping the competitive herd. We simply separate the folks who are saying nothing from the folks who are saying something, and the former we dismiss as not being that different at all. As for the latter, these are the ones for whom we reserve our full attention, the ones we hold in genuinely different regard. Mastering the art of quitting, why it matters in life, love, and work. Think about the expectation your family and friends have for you. Think about why you turned out this way. A study on rumination conducted by A and others found that participants who were given random distractors that bore no relation to themselves. Think about the outlines of a cello. Think about the parts that make up a car. Were better able to disengage from unsolvable the anagrams that participants who were asked to ruminate before the task. Ruminate. A World Without Work. This is the book to read on the future of work in the age of artificial intelligence. The Power of One More, the ultimate guide to happiness and success. Start by doing difficult and inconvenient things first. Real age. Are you as young as you can be? My calendar age is 41, and my real age is 37.5. I was so inspired by Oprah's show, which featured your book, that I have decided to further improve my real age. Surviving the storm. Track your process to fit the season.